Hi there, Jake from Drone Tech, and today we're going to be reviewing the car charger currently available on Amazon for the DJI Phantom 3 batteries. We purchased this for under $20, and what we're going to do is run through a few tests here to see how it performs, make sure that it's consistent with the output from the, this is the 100-watt charger, and make sure that we're not going to damage our battery. Now, this isn't guaranteed. Use this at your own risk, but what we're going to do is try to provide the most information that we can so that you can make an educated decision. So just to show you how it works, we have a little plug here, and if you plug it in, okay, what you're going to do then is put your terminal from the battery right into the unit, and it'll start charging in theory. So a couple of the concerns that we have is that this unit, depending on the voltage in, so when a car battery is sitting at rest, usually between 12 and 12.8 volts. Now, when you turn the car on, typically that goes into a charge mode, and the alternator will bump the battery voltage up to 13.5, 13.8 volts. So what we want to make sure is that this is consistent in its output. And if you look at the back of the DJI battery charger, you'll see that it is 17.5 volts, and it outputs 5.7 amps. Okay, so what we want to see is 17.5 volts stays consistent. And how we're going to test that is with this DC power supply. So this DC power supply has a variable voltage and a variable current. So we can crank the current all the way up, make sure that this is only taking what it should, and we can adjust the voltage as well from 12 to 14 volts and make sure that the output is the same. So first thing we're going to do is test this before we plug it in, make sure that we have a consistent voltage, and what we're going to do right now is turn our power supply on. Okay, we have it set at 12.9. I'm going to actually lower that down. And what we're going to do now is we are going to plug it in. Okay, you can see the light came on. And we're going to use our fluke meter here to test the output. So we're going to turn it on to volt, make sure that we're set to DC current, and we are. And we are going to take the black plug and put it on the negative terminal, and the red one and put it on the positive terminal. All right, 17.5 volts, that's perfect. Now what we want to see is if we turn the voltage on the input up from 12 to, say, 14 volts, we want to make sure that this 17.5 stays exactly the same. We don't want that to go up to 18 or down to 17. So let's go up. Let's do it slowly. So far so good, 17.5 volts. Okay, so feel confident that that will in fact charge the battery and not damage it with voltage. Now, really the current is what we need to worry about. The reason for that is charging the battery too fast with too much current could damage the cells inside the battery. So let's plug it in and see what it can do. Now, this unit here will put out a maximum of 10 amps. The way that current works is that this unit here is going to draw as much as it wants from that 10 amps. But the monitor here will only display what it's actually putting out. So we'll be able to see pretty clearly under the current side how many amps this is in fact drawing, and be able to charge the battery that way. So let's get started. Now we're going to plug in the battery, and we are going to turn the current all the way up on this machine. Make sure that it's putting out as much juice as it can. The amount of current will be restricted by the adapter plug here, and let's plug it in, see what happens. All right, current is all the way up. We're pulling 6.6 amps. It's a little more than the other. I'm going to start a timer here so that we can see how long it takes. This battery was right around 34%. So standard battery charger, the 100 watt, should charge this in a little under an hour. So we will see how quickly this charges. I'm going to turn this down a little bit to the desired voltage here. Let's let it sit, see how long it takes to charge. All right, so charge is complete. We have successfully charged the Phantom 3 battery. Took an hour and 28 minutes, so a little longer than expected, but still not bad. It was interesting watching because you could see the current dropping as the charge had progressed, and what it does is it charges the battery to 80 or 90% pretty fast, and then it does a trickle charge for the last 10-15%. So pretty interesting. You could see the current dropping in the power supply as the battery was regulating the input power. Overall, a great charger. Really easy charging from the car, plugs right into the cigarette lighter. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Link to the charger will be put in description so you can pick one up for yourself.